Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm doing the work today. I did a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, and I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but I thought there were some interesting parts that I'd like to call out. So, the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, you just write down you think of a stressful situation, you try to anchor yourself in that situation, and then you write down what you were thinking and believing. And you find that all of the stress was coming from what you were thinking and believing, not the situation itself. So it's a great way to unpack stuff that maybe you haven't even thought about for a while. And I actually went way back. And the situation I was in, I was actually raised in a Catholic, I was raised Catholic. I went to Catholic school, and I always felt really I always felt really scared and like guilty, like, oh, I'm gonna go to hell, I'm gonna get punished, all these bad things, and God doesn't love me. Kind of the typical kind of Catholic stuff they say, like, um, you're a bad kid. Um, Kind of funny now, but it definitely still is like it was as I did this worksheet. I saw still like many of these beliefs I still had. Um, And so the situation was they actually would have you do confession where you'd go and you'd be sitting there waiting for to go into this little like booth, and you would tell the priest all the bad things you did, and he would tell you to go do this, like say these prayers, and then you forgive you. Um, so I remember, I don't remember exactly, I was young, like fourth grade maybe, but I just remember sitting there in the line to do the confession, and like you're kind of just sitting there waiting for people to come out and go up. And that was the situation I anchored myself in. And I said, the first question is, in this situation, who angers, confuses, hurts, saddens, or disappoints you? Um, and I wrote that I'm upset with God because he judges me and punishes me. Um, so I'm sitting there in this bench waiting to go to confession. Um, and in this situation, God is judging and punishing me. Um, and I'm anchoring myself in this situation. Like, I'm just sitting on this bench. I'm a kid sitting on a bench. There's no, like, where is this God that's punishing me? I'm not being punished in any way. I'm not being judged by anyone. So, no, it's not true that in this situation, God is judging and punishing me. I'm just sitting there. Kind of funny. Um, so, how do I react? What happens when I believe this thought? Well, um, God judges and punishes me. Um, I have what images appear in my mind. I have um, this future imagined state of like, oh, you're going to be in hell, and you see the devil poking you with this stick. Um, and it's like, oh no, and like I'm going to be suffering for the rest of eternity. Um, you know, I'm not doing good enough. God is punishing me. Um, and also you get like beyond those images of this future imagined dream hell, like whatever that means. It's all just a future imagination. Hell is not anything in the present, it's always the future that makes it scary. um, Also, you feel really guilty, scared, um, kind of like timid and like desperate, like, oh, desperate, like I am, like really kind of, what else did I write, like I kind of suppress myself, like, oh, I can't, like just terrified of doing anything wrong. um, like don't even want to talk to people, or like, oh, I might say something that upsets God. um, just like really kind of scared of like, oh, because otherwise I'll end up in this imagined hell. um, and also kind of like desperate, yeah, really desperate. So who would I be without the belief, in this situation God is judging and punishing me? um, I just see myself sitting here on this bench, like so peacefully, so calm, uh, so normal and natural, and like just real. If that makes sense, like just like nothing is bothering. It's so fine. I'm so fine and safe and protected, and like even I would say loved. Um, there's like love in that moment, um, without this guilt and like fear. Um, so some of the turnarounds are, um, God God does not judge me and does not punish me. Like in this situation, God does not judge or punish me. Like I said, there's nothing, I'm not being punished in any way by God and just sitting here on a bench. I'm not being judged by God. There's not like a God pointing his finger at me. And if I am imagining like when I die, he comes and he says, oh, you did this bad thing. And these are all of your offenses. It's so silly. But that's just a story. Um, so it's so true that like God does not judge or punish me. Um, Another turnaround, a good one here is I judge and punish me. Like the only person punishing or judging in this situation is me judging myself and punishing myself. Like, oh, you're a bad person. You deserve to be punished. It's just me. Like, and that's kind of refreshing in that that's my business. Like, I don't need God to stop judging and punishing me. All I need is myself to stop judging and punish me. That's totally in my control. And that's so nice. Like, if it was God, that would be terrifying. The universe is punishing and judging you, but it's just me. It's like so easy to change and fix and just change my belief about this. So awesome, awesome turnaround there. Yeah, so this was I had a few other things on the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, but I think this first one um, hit on a lot of the points. So thanks for doing the work with me.